Hi, I'm Mr. C from Mr. C Read to Me. This is episode 6, I think, in the series that I started a couple of weeks ago, where I thought when I was homeschooling my kids, I'd read stories to them. Then it occurred to me if I uploaded them, then it could be shared at home. I originally started by reading published books, which unfortunately I discovered I wasn't actually allowed to do. So now I have called upon the budding writers out there to write their own stories and send them to me, and I now read them on my YouTube channel, which of course is Mr. C Read to Me. And to get your stories to me, which a number of people have done, you just send it to mrcreadtome@gmail.com. And I'm actually starting to get quite a number of emails and stories through, and I'm really thrilled to be receiving those. To people who've sent them to me and have had to wait for a little while for me to read your stories, I'm sorry. As I think I mentioned last episode, we've just moved into our new home, and there's been a lot of moving and shifting, and we haven't had internet and a few other problems. But we're over that now and we're back into it. So I'm going to get on with today's episode. And today's story is called Bill's Pond, and it was written by Lara Harding, aged 11, from Wodonga in Victoria, Australia. So Lara, a shout out to you. Thank you very much for your story. And here goes, Bill's Pond. Once there was a duck called Bill, and he had his very own pond in Australia. He loved to splash and play in the pond, but one day, after a long night's sleep, he went to his pond and there was no water in it. There was just one big ditch. So he asked one of his friends, he says, "Why is my water gone?" And the koala said,
Well, it's called evaporation. And what happens is the sun sucks up all the water and puts it into the clouds. And when the clouds are full of water, it starts to rain.
Bill asked, "Will my pond ever fill back up again?" And koala said,
Yes, it will fill back up and you'll be able to swim again.
when it started to rain, the pond filled back up all the way to the top, and koala and Bill had a nice long swim. Thank you, Lara. Great story. I really enjoyed Bill's Pond, and thank you for writing that in and sending it to me. And I want to say a special shout out to my son Thomas, who I know has also written a story, but we'll keep that for later down the track. And he happens to also be my cameraman today. So thanks, Tom, and thanks again, Lara. Cheers.